So these are some of the standards that are being followed. The first thing is, as I said, sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide. These both are the major pollutants. And particulate matter also comes into picture. And how these are actually measured is, one, it will be measured at an annual basis. Annual means annual average. Every year average will be there, and 24 hours average. So for every 20, like the readings will be taken for every 1 hour, 8 hours, 30 minutes, 24 hours. That is how the readings are taken. And based on that, like 24 hours average. That is 1 day per day. What is this pollution? So they have few standards also. When it is an industrial area, for an annual thing, at an annual rate, the sulfur dioxide content can be 50 micro units or 50 units. But when it comes to an per day scale, it is actually 80. Similarly, ecologically sensitive area. Notice by this, these are all actually like under the government, central government. So these will be like actually the value varies. How we used to measure? There are like different measuring methods that are being adopted. And similarly for NO2, this is the limit 40/80 and 30/80. These things you have to memorize, because the reason is because this particular standards you should know what is the standard of each and every particles. There are like around 12 particles. There are like 12 stuff which you have to actually remember. Particulate matter, when it comes to particulate matter 10, then it has different limits. So we'll see about these instruments. Few instruments we'll discuss in the next class, how these instruments are used to measure this air quality. But as far as now, in today's class, what we can say is like we can see the each and every particles and their minimum size. That is like whatever the allowed limits. As far as like our particulate matters are concerned, they are also like work based on this annual and 24-hour level. But when it comes to ozone, you have to actually find 8 hours data and also like 1 hour data. For every 1 hour also you have to have a data, and 8 hours also we have to have a data. So when it comes to 1 hour, the limit should be 100. 100 into 10 to the power 6. That is what which means as mu. That is micron. Grams per meter cube. Okay, so this is the limit for ozone. Then when you go with lead, so lead is one of the major factor for our cancer. So we should actually try to avoid lead, and the limit is this much. Similarly, when we go with carbon monoxide, also we monitor it at 1 hour and 8 hours level. Ammonia, benzene, benzo, or we can say like pyrene particulate phase. Arsenic and nickel. So these are also like few things which we have to actually record. But the main thing that you have to know is like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, particulate matters, ozone, carbon monoxide, lead is also fine. You have to know all the things, but these are all the major factors: ozone, particulate matters, nitrogen and sulfur, carbon monoxide also. These are major pollutants. Okay, so what do you mean by this annual? So we said like a few things which is annual. So basically, like let us say when you go with any measurements, the arithmetic mean, that is like if it is an annual measurement, the mean of like 104 measurements in a year at one particular site. Okay, for every particular site, we are making like around 104 measurements. We are taking 104 measurements with two readings per week. That is like just taken at 24 hours, hardly intervals. The uniform interval. It should follow an uniform interval, and 104 measurements should be taken. And when you go with this 24 hours or 8 hours or 1 hour monitoring values, this will be like the measurements that are taken at a regular interval, and more than 98% of the data will be compiled. That is the average. Whereas like 2% of them will be like leftover, where they are exceeding these limits. So some suddenly, like out of nowhere, one day the limit will actually increase and next day it will drop. So there might be a fault in that particular thing. So they used to say that as outliers. They used to remove that particular increase and decrease of this readings. And if the reading is actually there for 2 days continuously, then we have to continuously keep on monitoring that particular site. Whenever, and one thing we have to notice, like whatever the reading that is being captured, if that is the reading is there for 1 day or like 1 hour, then we don't have to worry about it. That might be due to some miscalculations. But the thing is, like if the same is there for like consecutive of 2 days, then we should actually find the reason why it actually like it is there for 2 days, and we should investigate it and we should keep on monitoring it. And as far as the industry international standards are concerned, World Health Organization is responsible for this international standards. They have their own standards. And as I said, when it comes to maintaining this air quality index, there is air quality. There are four key air pollutants that plays a major role. The first thing is particulate matter. You can say like particulate matter 2.5, 1 or 10, whatever the thing is. Particulate matters has to be monitored. The next thing is ozone. Ozone layer should also be monitored regularly. The third is nitrogen dioxide. Nitrogen dioxide should be monitored regularly, and sulfur dioxide. So these four are the major pollutants, and these four has to be monitored at regular intervals. So these are the limits provided by our World Health Organization. The previous one which we have actually came across is provided by Indian government. But these are something which is provided by World Health Organization, and these are the things that has to be followed all over the world in common. And just have a look at the value. The particulate matter for 1 year is 10, and 24 hours is 25. 99th percentile means they will take 99%. Similarly, nitrogen dioxide, ozone, all the other things comes into picture. When it goes with the other countries, so as I said, like Europeans have their own standards, US have their own standards, and the need to maintain all these standards. What is the need? The main reason is because we need to know whether the quality of air is within the limit or it goes outside the limit. So Delhi is also one of the topmost polluted city in the world. The emissions from Delhi is so high when compared to other cities, other international cities. So measures should be taken to reduce the pollutants that are being sent into this particular atmosphere. So Delhi government is taking similar measures. So how will they know that the air quality is outside the limit? By doing all these air quality measurements. They'll do the measurement for each and every pollutants in the atmosphere, and then they will actually like find out whether the pollutants are within the limit or not. And as far as Chennai is concerned, there are around 6 stations that are present. 6 is not a limit. You can have even 10, 12, whatever it is you can have. But as far as Chennai is concerned, open, we have the data for 6 stations. Similarly, for all over the world, we have air quality index data right now. At present, we have air quality data for all over the world.